Okay guys, Chris Cullen back with you on CC's Aquatic Adventures. I am sorry I haven't been up to date with the videos. Um, just give you a brief um, synopsis of what's been going on. Um, in case you guys didn't know, I have heart failure. I've been dealing with it for about 6 years. I've been on the heart transplant list for 4 years. Um, I've had some complications recently where my heart got a little bit worse. Spent about 10 days in the hospital getting what they call a PICC line in my arm. Um, so if you look real quick, it's pretty much this here. Um, I'll take the bandage down. So the PICC line goes in here. If you see it, it's kind of hard to see. Let me just get this. It's called a sleeve. Better just show you real quick. This is what I gotta have put on my arm. This goes. It's a PICC line. It feeds my Milranon, which is in this bag here. I use, it's called a fanny pack. I think you guys are familiar with that. This pump with IV meds, okay, and it's constantly pumping this drug in me to make me feel better, and it's pretty much a bridge to my transplant, which is going to be happening hopefully soon. Like I said, I've waited 4 years now, but the bottom line is that we don't know how long it's going to take, but I did get moved up the list, which, you know, when you get the PICC line and IV Milranon, that moves you up the list to 4. So I'm hoping that with the advent of this drug being infused in me, which is what it does pretty much, the pump infuses my heart with this drug to keep my heart alive pretty much. So that's where I'm at now. I had some complications with the PICC line to go back to the hospital. Spent 4 days with blood clots. I'm still dealing with blood clots right now because of the way my body is reacting to the PICC line in me. So I've been on some blood clot medication, blood thinners, pretty much, and that's what we're at right now. So wanted to get that out of the way. This is the reason why I haven't made any videos, haven't been on top of the fish room as much as I would like, haven't been able to buy more fish, financially kind of tight right now. I do work part-time at a pool hall, just on the side. Don't make much money, but it gets me out of the house, and I love pool. As you can see, I have the table, which is covered right now because we get some condensation down here, and we don't want it to get dirty. But in case you guys haven't seen, this is the basement. My wife moved some stuff around. We still got some stuff from Christmas on here, but we've pretty much narrowed down a lot of our a lot of our extra storage or extra stuff as you accumulate over the years. We got rid of most of the stuff down here. I moved this. This is my fish supply rack. I'm using it for some pool stuff right here, which I don't really use this shelf for anything else but that. But there's mostly I moved my clock up here, but mostly fish stuff in this. There's medication in there, and just some extra supplies. Up here, really don't have much. You just have my filter cleaner, brushes, and my saltwater measuring for the puffer tank, which is right over here. So I just did a water change in this tank. These guys are doing great. They're hiding right now. If you look back there, there's one there. Yeah, he's still going strong. I just turned the lights on, guys, so the other one should be around somewhere. There's one there. I like to make sure they're both there. But he might be hiding, so we don't know. Yeah, so they're both in there. But that's my own saltwater tank I have right now. I did have two. I kind of was messing around with one, and I stopped, took it down. I actually sold it, but this is the only the only saltwater tank I have. These are actually, this is brackish, but I keep the salt high in this tank. They seem to be doing better. Once they get, once they eat and get things going, they're usually out and about and very active. So it's pretty interesting to see. These guys are awesome fish. I always like to make sure that there's no fish that jumped out or anything. I check all the time, but I don't see him on the floor, so he's good. That really hasn't changed much. Going to the fish Nook. You guys know what this used to look like. The top has been used for storage now. I put some food up there. Kind of a mixed bag of stuff. Kind of not really completely organized the way I want it to be, but and I did have plans for down here. I was going to make a shelf over here in this section here, but I didn't get a chance to do that yet. Haven't had time. Like I said, been in the hospital. So I go through tank to tank. Obviously, we wanted this to be a breeding section, which, if you look at the top three tanks, which is the Platy tank, which is a 10-gallon. This is a 10-gallon. These are the polar convicts. You can see they're getting bigger. Especially this guy here. They've been eating good. And then you got the bowl, which I made for the beta. You can see there's guppies in here. We grew out these guppies. There's about 20 in there. If you look real closely, they swim around. But I did this as a project. I grew these out. These are babies at one point. I may move them back to a bigger tank. I'm not sure. I'm looking at. I was out for a little bit, so the water chemistry wasn't great. I did lose some. I don't have as many guppies in there that I did have, so I did notice they started breeding again. So if they have more babies and if we get overloaded, we'll bring them back down here. I might put a beta back in here. I just don't have a good enough cover for this. Right now we're using this right here. In the past I've used other type of covers, and I wasn't able to keep them in the tank, unfortunately. So, being that we haven't really done anything with the breeding, we actually started the 10-gallon here and that 10-gallon. We actually started breeding on the 20-gallon, but the male died that was in here. That female killed the male, so the male's gone. I was gonna switch him between tanks. So that's a convict. There's a convict in here too. I'll get the light real quick. I don't keep the light on here. There's a convict back down there. If you look, he's back underneath the filter. This tank's kind of dirty on the outside, but if you look closer, you can see it. He's actually coming up right here. Look on the side. He's right there. You see him? Yeah, this tank kind of dirty because you can't see. There's no light. So. And that's the female, that's female. So we can't keep them together. If you guys know anything about convicts, I don't want to put anything in the big tanks upstairs because I don't want to mess up the balance in that tank of all the tanks. And we'll get to that in a second. I'm going to go through it and go through every single tank. But for right now, that's the only 5 tanks we have in that shelf. So I do plan on. I want to get. I actually made an advertisement today in the fish rehoming page today, and I'm trying to see if I can get rid of these convicts or maybe get a female. And you can see the puffer's out now. He's out and about. Just don't know if I want to keep looking to see if I can find the other guy, but don't see him in there right now. Let me see if I can see him in here. Oh man, I don't think I do. Anyway, he might be hiding somewhere, but we'll get back to this in a second. But I gotta make sure that he's in there. But I'll go back to that. Anyway, you see him swimming out when it's nice, when it's quiet. Actually, he's out. Yeah, we'll look to that. I'll let you guys know if I find them later. But anyway, getting back to this, this is pretty much the only 5 tanks we have left. Getting back to the 20-gallon, I do want to move that convict. Being that if I can't breed him, if I can't get anybody to take him, we'll have to do something. But I don't want to keep these guys in here. I just don't want to do it. They did have babies with the male before he died. There was like 6 of them left. I actually got rid of them. Those 2 tanks down here were holding convicts and polar convict stickers, which I'll show you upstairs. And he's out again. But I will show you guys that. I got rid of those guys before, so they're gone. But like I said, I might get rid of these guys, and then I want to put some mollies in there, do something else with this tank. We'll do that eventually. We'll get to that in a second. We'll get to that eventually. I'm hoping to get myself back into the swing of things. Hopefully, I get this heart quick. You guys all know that the pump is, these tanks are running off that pump. I do switch on and off hang-on back filters with the sponge filters. So I do that. Anyway, getting to this 30-gallon. This is the barb tank. We got some checker barbs in there. We got a bunch of different golden barbs, a bunch of different barbs in there. You guys already know what barbs are in there. We got the snakeskin barbs, which are hiding in the back. The loaches, the yo-yo loaches, and the zebra loaches are in there. That hasn't changed. I haven't lost any fish. A lot of these guys, they like to hide. There is kind of stops the aggression, but those guys are doing great. Can't complain about anybody in that tank. These are just mixed barbs. I do want to get more nano fish, more barbs for this tank eventually. We'll see what happens with that. I'm hoping that'll happen soon. Those 2 down there, I told you guys I've been using those as holding tanks for the babies. So again, we'll keep those tanks. There's one tank has a heater and then one doesn't. That one over there doesn't have a heater. It usually stays about 65 degrees down here. I don't use a heater for the guppies. I don't use a heater for this. There's one heater for this tank, one for that tank. I was using the heater for the convicts. So that's what I did. Of course, the 15-gallon pencil fish and the mixed barbs, that hasn't changed. I did lose some fish. I do want to stock this again. There are some zebra loaches in there, but those are pretty much the same tetras I've had for years. The small nano tetras, and I got some pencil fish in there. There's 3 pencil fish, and there's only one of each of the neon tetras. So kind of lost some over the years, but we'll get back into that. We'll get more tetras eventually. So that's pretty much it, guys. This is pretty much what we got down here in the fish nook. Just those little. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 tanks down here. Most of I try to use some of these tanks as quarantine tanks and some of them for holding tanks. But right now, that's what we got. And I'm going to take you upstairs and we're going to continue this video. I'm just going to keep doing updates on every single tank. I'm trying to see if we can find a little guy in here. Hopefully he's in there, but I don't think he's gone anywhere. But I'm hoping that he's messing around in there somewhere. And I just did a water change in this tank, but again, I don't see him in there. So we'll have to go through and do some. I like to make sure that nothing fell down here. Of course, this is what I do every night when I come down here and check to make sure there's no fish that jumped out or anything. Anyway, there's usually 2 in here. I don't seem to find the other one right now. It's not good news, but I just want to see if he is under this brick here. Hold on, let's see, guys. Well, it's not good. I don't see him in there. I don't know where he went to. We'll have to get back to this. We'll have to get back and look into this more. 'cause I don't see him in there. So I don't know what happened to him. Don't know if he's hiding somewhere. It's possible too. Well, it's not good, guys. Not good. Oh, looks like I think I see him on the floor back here. Yep, he's on the floor back in here. Unfortunately, yep, he's dead. Son of a bitch, man. Oh, fuck. Okay, well, he jumped out of the tank last night, unfortunately. So, we lost the pufferfish, unfortunately. Now we gotta go back up and check out the rest of these tanks, guys. That's sad news. I don't know. I don't know how that happened. But it looks like he jumped out of the tank. Anyway, let's get to the next tank we got. Unfortunately, that happens in the hobby, guys. Didn't want to show it on the new my video, but anyway, getting back to it. This is obviously the guppy tank. We see the new shelf on here that my neighbor built. Trying to get rid of this food in there, but this is, like I said, it looks like a little light. I did take, there was some hair algae, which is green hair algae. I took it out because it was just looking nasty. This is just a natural tank. These are all guppies and endlers and the mollies, because I did want to move the mollies to a different tank eventually, but you can see how good the plants are growing here, except for this. I can't seem to get this this plant to grow. It was growing really good at one point. It's called Amazon sword. It was growing good at one point, and it's just kind of falling off. I've cut the leaves, I've done everything. I've used a bunch of different fertilizers, and I just haven't been able to get it to grow. Of course, the Nubius is doing great, and you know, we got the large Nubius and the small Nubius doing great. I haven't touched that, so we still got some good growth in that. I did have some down there, some moss, some Java moss, and of course, that's pretty much it for right now with the plants. You got the stuff is floating, is kind of dying. So, and you can see the green hair algae growing in there. You know, that's just anything you put in here is going to grow pretty good. So, yeah. So that's that tank. You can see that there's. I thought there was more guppies in here, but like I said, we had some issues. I was gone for a little bit, so when I was gone, obviously, I don't know if they were fed enough, or if the water balance was good. I did add some crushed coral in this filter, hoping to get get them to breed better. But as you can see, the way we made this, the way this stand was made, it makes it look much better. And of course, we have out here, we still haven't gotten rid of that stand, which was warped, but it just adds an accent to this house. If you look around, most of the stuff we have is black, you know, shelvings and stuff like that is black, so it matches my, you know, the home decor. And of course, you know, we wanted the plants to grow a little bit better, but we may just replace the Amazon soil with some Anubias, so we may do some more stuff around here. I haven't really touched this tank as far as you know, gravel vac. This is a sand substrate with the you know, the blasting sand and sand together. So you know, it's the blasting stuff that you get from the hardware store, and then you got the regular sand. So it's black, and my wife actually did that. And there's some rock in there too. We just try to keep it as natural as possible for them. Don't really touch it. And of course, there's some some driftwood back there. So yeah, this tank is pretty much, I haven't touched it. It just does it itself. I did notice some more babies coming in here. We do have some snails. You see, probably overloaded the snails. I'll get to the snail issue in 1 second in one of the other tanks we had. So yeah, for some reason the snails in here just go crazy and go crazy in my whole fish room. But I hope you guys like that. I like the way it looks. My wife's doing some crafting for the Easter, but you can see that it just looks good in this house, in this room. It just and he made it perfect. I love the way the stand is, and I haven't had any issues, so it's good. So that's the other only tank we have in the living space. And of course, now we go out to the garage. You know, getting into this tank, you guys know we had an issue with this geophagus. He had developed some hole in the head, and we treated him vociferously for months. Okay, and you can see the angelfish in here getting bigger. You got this. I had this guy for so many years, probably about 10 years now. That guy has been here for a while, and then these guys are fairly new. These two are new. They were babies at one point. They were actually grown up. I did lose a ram, unfortunately. It's a shame that we lost one, but I got back. He had some pop eye, and I was in the hospital for 10 days. The light was off. I had to renege this light because there was some issues with it. I was able to get it fixed, but they didn't see that he had a bulging eye, so we took him out. We tried treating him with some medication. Unfortunately, we weren't able to do it. We weren't able to fix him up, so he died. So it's unfortunate, but it happens. And so anyway, in this tank, we did get the geophagus fixed. I would love to move this guy into a bigger tank. Obviously, this is a 75. I like to move him into the 120 we have right here. But like I said, I don't want to mess up the balance of this tank. We got 3 Baylor sharks in here, 3 silver dollars, and then there's 4 different cichlids in there. There's 2 African cichlids, 1 oblique, one peacock mix. I'm not sure if it's exactly a peacock. He might be a Malawi cichlid, but he's one of the last cichlids I have. And there's also a Dempsey, which is right here. You guys can see him. He's right there. He's kind of hard to see with the light on. Let me turn this light off. You can see him in there. No, you can't see anything in there. Just the reflection. So let me try turning this light on and this one off. So that makes a difference. Anyway, you can see the Baylor sharks. I keep this tank kind of light because I don't like them to see a lot of light because they kind of get spooked, especially the Baylor sharks. But the Baylor sharks are comfortable. They're getting big. The Dempsey, I don't really. He's right there. I can see him in the front. I can't really get a good picture of him because this stupid light is blinding me. It doesn't do anything. Let me see if I put this light on instead. I don't know if you can see him now, but all you see is the reflection. There's the green terror if you saw him, and the Dempsey is right in the front there, but I'm having a hard time showing him. He's right next to the. Let me see if I can take this light down and put it on top of it. There you go. You see that better, guys. He's a Dempsey right down there, if you can see him. Right next to that rock there. There he is. And of course the Baylor sharks, and of course these guys. I may want to keep this light up here somewhere where you can see him better. But that's the 120. you know, we had some issues in the beginning with that tank with some, you know, some aggression, but we got it taken care of. It's no longer aggressive. This is one of my favorite tanks. I haven't been able to get anything done with the lids. I've been so preoccupied with my health. But for the most part, there's no aggression going on in this tank. You know, they all got their own space, territory-wise, which I always thought would be a problem. But hey, they got territory issue over here. So when I came in here, I put those big pot, planted pots in there, plastic pots. And what I did was, I gave them their own territory. So territory, the Dempsey takes the Dempsey usually takes the middle, but he doesn't like the light right now. The green Terror takes the left. The African sickle takes this spot here. And of course, you know, the Baylor Shark's from the top or in the middle somewhere. And of course, you got the silver dollars. Also, getting back to this tank, we still have this pond here, guys. Remember we put the light in here. It kind of stopped growing upwards. I think it got too big. We're gonna move this once the weather breaks here. We're gonna move this. I like to fix this while I'm doing this stuff. We're gonna move this plant back out into the yard. I'm gonna get a bigger pond. I only got one goldfish left in here. We're actually gonna rehome him. I got a guy who wants to take him for a pond. I'm gonna probably do something different in here. Maybe like a breeding nano thing outside. I don't know yet. I've always wanted to do that, but we're gonna do this summer. We're gonna change it around. I'm not gonna keep goldfish in this small little pond anymore. They get too big. I realize it's about 15 gallons, so it's not big enough for a goldfish. So we want to put something else, like maybe a nano fish. Not sure which one I want to do yet. You know, most of the ones that like to breed, haven't really thought about it yet. But if you guys think of anything, give me some ideas. But one thing I do like about this tank, one thing I do like about the frog bit in here is that you can see the roots that it's growing in here. This is one of the best things you can do for your tank, is having roots like this eat up your nitrates. You know, and that pond there, the roots are so thick in there that the water's having a hard time coming out. It still comes out. I still think it's still eating all of the nitrates, but I did have to do a water change in this tank because I had some ammonia buildup because when I was gone, this filter turned off that was pumping. This side went out in this pump, so I had to start using both of my battery operated pumps, which is right here. Of course, I've been charging them as I go. I had lost power this weekend, so this filter went out. I'm replacing this filter now, but this one's gone. It's shot. I couldn't get it turned back on. It's probably about, I would say probably about 15 years old. I've had it for a long, I had it before I even moved in with my when I got remarried. This is from my old marriage, in my first marriage, that, you know, I had a tank over there. That's the first filter I've ever had. It finally died. So unfortunately, we had the power out. The best thing you can have is one of these wireless pumps. I was able to run this tank, this pond. You know, I always keep a sponge filter in there, just in case something like that happens. You also can keep anything else that can oxygenate the water. You can keep any kind of, you know. I also got a bubbler in there. You can do that too, but as long as you have something to get oxygen in the water, and I had that, and of course, I had two sponge filters in here, which one of them's out. I gotta fix that. So I'll do that when we get out. The hoses came off. You see they're all hiding in the back now because I'm in here. So the issue, like I told you about this tank with the I finally got him fixed up, the Geophagus. I got the ram. I lost the ram. We also lost one of these scissor-tailed rasboras, but that's pretty much it. We didn't lose anybody else. Oh, I did lose the yellow angelfish. We had a problem with the angelfish with his eye. What happened was in this tank I fed them a cucumber or a zucchini that had some kind of I didn't wash it off very good, and it contaminated the water, and I was fighting. Unfortunately, the one guy lost his sight in his eye, lost his complete eye, and I was fighting with this fish to keep alive. I was medicating, and unfortunately, he didn't make it. So, unfortunately, he's dead, and we have to move on. The other fish survived, but he didn't make it, so he's gone. Did lose some fish in here. Also, when I was gone, I had a freaking huge buildup of trumpet snails. Which, listen, I think trumpet snails are good. They'll eat all the stuff in the bottom of the sand. I don't do a lot of gravel vacuuming in this. This is a lot of rock in here too, but I don't do a lot of gravel vacuuming in here. I don't like to mess up the chemistry of the tank. So, and usually Geophagus will go in and dig up some of the sand. Anyway, I got some other snails in there too. Unfortunately, I did kill my nerite snail, was hiding in there. When I was treating this tank when I was getting rid of the snails, I would take them out and put them in vinegar. Vinegar kills the snails immediately. I'm talking about thousands of snails in here. I was in here every day getting rid of the snails. The best thing you can do for that is you can put cucumbers in there. They get on the cucumber. You got to make sure you get a step stool, or if you got to get in that 75-gallon tank, you got to make sure that you get the fork out of there with the snails on it. And then I just take the snails and put it in a bucket with vinegar, and the vinegar kills them all. So, but unfortunately, when it gets that bad, there's nothing you can do about it. You have to make sure that you are on top of it. If you're not, they're gonna die. Okay. 55-gallon has the Severum in there still, and the blue Aquarium. The other blue Aquarium died. We know that. It's been a while now. Of course, we still have the mascara barbs. I actually put the bleeding heart tetras in there, along with the Congo, not the Congo tetras, the I can't think of the name. The Colombian tetras. There you go. There's 2 Colombian tetras in there, and of course there's a bunch of cories in there. Believe it or not, there's cories in there. They're hide, but they're very, very small, but they're actually keeping alive with the bigger fish in there. They don't bother them. You can see the bleeding heart tetras down here. They're beautiful fish. They'll get bigger too. I like to keep them in there because they get big. They get about 2 inches. That's big for them, but they also get higher and thicker. So that's that tank. Of course, Siamese algae eater, which took care of all the algae that was in there. This tank I'm going to keep it the way it is for right now. I think it's perfectly stocked. I don't need to have anything else in there. Although, the blue Acara and the Severum kind of take up the top of the tank. Usually you see the bleeding heart tetras towards the top, but they kind of stay towards the bottom. But, I'm always looking for more fish. I may move some stuff around. But that's pretty much that tank, and that's it. No issues at all with this tank usually. But going on to the next tank, these guys, okay, polar convicts. These guys are mating like crazy. There's actually some babies in there, as you can see. For some reason they're hiding at the bottom of the tank. I can't seem to get them out of there, so I'm going to leave them in there for now. We did move, like I said, we've been moving their fry out of here. I got rid of a bunch of them already. I just gave them away. I don't sell them. No one wants to. These guys breed so much that I could just keep on having them breed. But it's crazy how much they breed. But again, I usually take the babies out. I'm gonna keep them in there for now. And even look at the small ones in there. But they lay more eggs in there too. So they're constantly having babies. I'd like to move them to a bigger tank eventually, maybe this 40-gallon, but I haven't decided what I want to do with this tank yet. I like the 40-gallon with the way I can keep a lot of fish in there. Unfortunately, I lost all of the Congo tetras that were in here. They're all gone. They died. They got big, but I've had them for about 7 years. They just didn't make it. So this is just a tetra tank. You know, I've been keeping the tetras in there for a long time, and of course there's a flying fox in there, pleco, a bunch of cories. So, and glass fish, which I've had probably the longest of all my fish. There is one tetra down here, which I've treated for. It looks like he's got some dropsy going on, but I've treated him already, and I treated him with all kinds of stuff, medication, and some Epsom salt, and I just can't seem to get him better. So we may do an Epsom salt bath. We'll see, maybe. Anyway, I'm disheartened by I can't stop thinking about the puffer fish. I'm disheartened by it. Just frustrating. Anyway, another nano tank which is in here, but I do have a pearl gourami which is right there. It's beautiful. I want to possibly move them up here, but I'm hoping to get another one of those. I did have two. I wanted to move one up here, but there's rummy nose tetras in there, a bunch of X-ray tetras, and a bunch of cories, more cories. Right now I got cories in just 3 tanks right now, but they're all very, very old, put it that way. So nothing's pretty much changed, okay, with the exception of a couple of, you know, losses we had. You guys saw one of the losses right on camera, unfortunately. 40-gallon, 20-gallon, 15-gallon, and that's the 75-gallon, 55-gallon on that rack. And then of course the 120, which I haven't done anything with yet. I don't want to destroy the balance in that tank. They're very, very calm. There's no really aggression going on in there. So unfortunately, for some reason I can't get a good picture of this, or can't really film this that good. You can see the African right there on the right side, but once you get to, let me try to move it over to this side, see if you guys can see that better. For some reason the left side I can't get the focus. I don't know why. Yeah, you can see the green terror there. The Dempsey's black, so you can't really see him in the black background, but he's in there too. But yeah, this is probably my favorite tank. I do like the Baylor sharks. You know, and of course this guy here is the oldest guy I have. That African cichlid. He won't die. She won't die. She's a female. She just doesn't want to die. But anyway, so sad news today while we're videotaping. Lost the puffer. Just sad day. But it's unfortunate that you lose fish in here. It might have been my fault, but I don't know. He might have been bullied. I don't know. Anyway, guys, this video was almost 40 minutes. I wanted to give you guys an update and everything going on. We're still stuck in winter. We do want to get this pond outside. I do want to do, you know, something in that probably breeding. I don't know yet. I can't think of the top of my head what kind of fish I want to put in there. You know, I do want to do some kind of nano tub. Like I said, give me some ideas, and we'll get that eventually. But I'm kind of teetering on whether I want to keep the frog bait inside the tank with all those roots. But of course, this is just going crazy. I don't, you know, with you know, the irises didn't do so well, but you know, this monster lily, I didn't like the way it grew. I don't like the way it grows that much in here. So we're going to try to move it outside, and once the weather gets nice, we're going to try to get it to I've never seen it grow that high, but when you got the light there, it's growing up towards the light. And of course, we got some branches that's stuck in there and what happens is they kind of bend. But anyway, it goes to show you can grow it in there. You grow it in a small pond. I do want to get into a bigger pond or a bigger area where they can grow maybe a bigger pot. I don't know. We'll see. You could probably use this whole damn pot for that. Maybe just take it out, put it in the gravel, and then, like I said, do nano fish around it. I don't want to take the goldfish out yet until I get them a new home. But once I do nano fish in here, where they're smaller, you know, we could do, you know, something where they can breed, and then I could have this lower, and I could have, you know, the plant inside. We'll figure that out. We'll film the project when we get it going. But anyway, till next time, guys. Remember, if you can't own them, rehome them. And I'm sorry it took so long to do a video, but I'm back in action. I'll take a video from this side. You know, this is what you're looking at when you come in here. But till next time, remember, if you can't own them, rehome them. And you know, I'm glad I'm back, and I'm hopeful you guys will stick with me, and we'll grow the channel once I get more opportunity to be a little bit better and a little more into it than I was in the past. All right, guys. We'll see you next time. Have a good day.